Hello again, everybody. This is Derek, and I'm coming back at you with another Wargaming and miniature video. In today's video, we're going to continue on with our store news update. And in today's store news update, we're going to touch on usually what I do during these store news updates, and I do them usually weekly, usually at the end of the week or the start of the week. We talk about what I have, what I'm working on, what I finished, like what kind of new supplies that I've gotten in, what kind of product I've gotten in, as well as any news that I want to share. Now, not a lot has happened this week that you aren't already aware of, so I'm going to try to just breeze through this pretty quick, make this a quick video. I'm recording it while I'm doing my Wargaming Weekly live stream, so there's that. All right, so what have I finished? Well, there is something I finished. Now you see these paints along the wall here, but I also have a spinner over here, and I've got paints up on the, mostly washes, up on the wall over there. So what I did was I went through all of my bottle paints like this, right? The Vallejo, AK, Warlord Games, the war paints from Army Painter, any of those types of paints that come in those kind of bottles. I basically took them all down and I went through all of them, looking for duplicates, because sometimes I'll have like 2 bottles of the same paint. So I went through, well, because a little while ago I bought multiples of paints knowing I was going to need them, and then I would put them on the shelf, and then I would put one over here. But when I started rearranging the shelf, I decided to go ahead and put them all on my table. And then I realized I was starting to run out of room because I just purchased some new AK paint and I needed some place to put them. So I decided to go ahead and go through all of my paint, pull out all my duplicates. I put them in a tub and they're on the shelf over there. And there's probably about 30 paints over there. So that's something I got accomplished. And that opened up a good section of my paint rack here where I was able to put my new AK paints in. All right, so what supplies have I gotten in? I'm going to jump to that. What supplies have I gotten in? Well, I got in some AK paint, right? I got in these paints right here. There's a couple of fleshes. I got in a gray, a blue, a salmon, right? A Dunkelgelb, the alternative version, a khaki, and a desert color. And then I got this white in, which is not really white. It's more of a gray color. I'm trying to remember what color it actually calls itself. White gray. So it is a white, it's just white gray. Like Russian uniform, but that's an AK Russian uniform and not a Vallejo. And I got some orange brown. And then this is light flesh, but it looks darker to me than, okay, that's the salmon. I'm going to put the salmon, which salmon to me looks like flesh. And then we've got radiant flesh, which I guess that's lighter, but that's more pinkish brown. I don't know, but it's called light flesh. I think they're basic skin tone, and then light flesh. I mean, that just doesn't make sense. I don't know. Whatever. All right, so but I got those paints in, and basically plugged some holes that I had in my paint. All right, what else? V&V. Okay, I did get in my V&V. Okay, this is what product I got in. Well, I got some V&V models in. I recorded a video that does a close-up of the models and all the parts and pieces and stuff like that. And I got like 9 models. So that's going to be part 1 of a 2-part video. The second part is I'm going to have them assembled and maybe painted. I'm not sure how I want to do that. But so that video, that first half of the video, is already recorded. It's just saved on the hard drive. I'm not touching it until I get the second half ready to go. Once I do the second half, then I'll edit the 2 videos and probably upload them at the same time. That way you get part 1 and part 2 right away. Now what am I working on? I'm working on this French Napoleonic Commission, obviously, and I'm going to continue this week. Hopefully I'll be able to get it. I thought I'd have it finished this weekend, but some things came up that kind of slowed me down. So hopefully I'll get these done by this weekend. This and the cavalry that's in the box on the table over there. Now, news, right? I actually have some news. And there is 2 sales going on my store right now. If you go to my eBay store, you'll find a 15% off. What was going through my mind was 15%, 15 millimeter. So I got 15% off of Old Glory and Plastic Soldier Company. So those 2 companies, those 2 brands have a 15% off. And then I have the second sale, which is a 20% off. And I was thinking 20 for 25s, right? So 20% off for Warlord games and Victrix models. So if you were to shop for Warlord or Victrix, you would get a 20% off. Now, this is so I've only been doing these sales pretty heavily over the last maybe 4 months, and I've learned something from eBay. When you do a sale, if someone adds a sale item into their cart, right? Any number of items, and then if they throw a sale item in there, they cannot request an invoice. They cannot, and I don't know why they can't request an invoice, because it would just be me giving you the cost. Because each item has its own shipping value. And let's say each item has a $4 shipping, and hypothetically. And then let's say they put 10 items in there. Well, now they're going to be paying $40 in shipping. And when I package them, I try to combine the packages so that my customer will receive 1 box instead of 10. So by doing that, instead of, because the way the postal service works is it doesn't like add $4 on for every ounce, right? It adds like $4 for the first 5 ounces, and then every 5 ounces after that, it might be $1 or something, right? So it winds up being about $15, right? Hypothetically, I'm just throwing numbers out there. So with it being $15, the customer should be saving about $25, right? So what I have to do is, unfortunately, what I have to do is once I package it and ship it, I go back into eBay and I hit the refund. I go refund $25, right? But that does tie up the $40 for that customer. It's tied up until he gets the refund. But I can't get around that, because whenever you put a discounted item, something that's on sale, into your cart, it prevents combined shipping for some reason. I don't know why. Now, one of my customers suggested it was because I don't have a shipping rule. Well, I do have shipping rules. And he also suggested that maybe it's because, I'm trying to remember what the other reason was. But it's irrelevant because I checked and that doesn't apply to me. I double checked all my settings and everything, so it's just the way it is. Hell, you're already getting 15 to 20% off anyway, so it's kind of, think of it like a coupon that you're going to get your money in 3 or 4 days once I apply the refund, because that's kind of the way it is if you get multiple items, which a lot of people are doing, and I don't mind sending refunds. Finally, last topic before I end the video is Old Glory. They have a Christmas sale every year. They have a Christmas sale, so I took advantage of this Christmas sale and I ordered a bunch of Napoleonic models. Some ancients, not many, but like the enemies of the triumvirate, I didn't have any of those. So I ordered 2 of those because I'm going to keep one for myself. Okay, so, and there's a couple of other models that I ordered that I don't normally carry, but I thought it would be good to have in the store, Napoleonic-wise as well. I've really focused on the Waterloo period, with the British, the Brunswick, the Nassau, the Dutch Belgians, the Hanoverians, the French, of course, and the Prussians, right? But I've been contemplating starting, collecting for the store, not for me, but for the store, started collecting like Russians and Austrians and maybe some minor nations. But I want to make sure that I've got the 100 days battles covered before I start breaking out and trying to get additional figures. But I did put a pretty sizable order in. It's probably not going to get here till mid-January. So we'll look forward to that as well. Oh, and V&V. V&V, their models look great. So far, I'm super happy with what I've seen from the V&V models. They're highly detailed, more detailed than I need, really. I mean, they're like the horse. The reins on the horse are they're beautiful rein, not beautiful, but there's like holes and it's clean, and the reins look like reins. They don't look like a clump of metal on the front of a horse. They look really good. So I contacted them to set up a retail account, which I've already done. And now I can start placing orders through V&V as Wargaming in Miniature. And they have some weird rules on ordering. They want you to order an entire product line to get the discount. They said you don't have to, but they just prefer it that way. So what I need to do is like make a spreadsheet, because they didn't give me a spreadsheet or an order form or anything like that. So what I'm going to have to do is go in and create my own spreadsheet with all their product numbers and items and costs and stuff, and try to put something together and then send it off to them so that they can create these miniatures and send them to me. And then I can put them on the store and you guys can take advantage of it. So that, but that I probably won't send that out until after the new year. And then it did take about 3 weeks for me to get the items. So I probably won't see them till February, to be honest. I'm just, keeping you guys in the loop. All right, guys, thank you for coming out and checking out this video. And I will see you next week on another Wargaming in Miniature.